Bingo, bango. I think we're good. Mike. Mickey.
Welcome to the RowdyCast, home of the RowdyCasters. If you don't know what that is, well, it's all of you watching today. My fellow outdoorsmen and women, thrill seekers, adventurers, and outdoorsy folks. And I'm Dakota.
Well, my name is Dylan, and I'm the better, funnier, and definitely better looking half of this dynamic duo.
Okay, that's not what the girl said. Let me ask you this. Ever wonder what it's like to be completely lost on a trail? Try to kill a squirrel? Pro tip, I would not try that. Got a scar to prove it somewhere on my body. Or trip over a rock and somehow convince yourself that the rock is to blame. Well, guess what? You found the right podcast. 2 dudes, 1 brain cell, and all the outdoor chaos you can handle.
That's right. We're here to take you on the adventure of a lifetime. Okay, lifetime. Might be a bit of a stretch, but trust me, this will be worth every second. You'll get the funny, the serious, and some of the what were we thinking moments straight from the wild.
Ready for a ride where logic is optional and common sense is on vacation? Strap in, grab a helmet, and get ready to laugh, cringe, and maybe rethink every decision you have ever made. This is not your typical podcast. It's about to get rowdy.
Our goal is simple here. To leave a legacy of the outdoors right in your hands. And hopefully we'll avoid getting lost in the woods in the process.
You can use your iPad, phone, whatever you need to use. Now let's get outside, learn some new skills, and make memories that will last until we forget about them by the next episode. And trust me, that is absolutely possible with myself.
But seriously, get up, grab your gear, and head outside. The outdoors won't experience themselves, and we can't be the only ones living the outdoors for you.
But before we run off, don't forget your phone. You'll want to stay tuned. The Obscure Outdoors Podcast, RowdyCast. See you soon, and remember, don't trip over any rocks. Yeah, you know why I'm so reading so crap outside. I'm trying to read it. Oh, wait, it's close.
See.
Okay, Dylan. So let's talk about what this podcast is going to be, what kind of stories we're going to tell it, and, just anything that we're actually going to be doing here.
So this podcast is mainly going to be more along the lines of the funnier stuff. Everything that you're going to see on the main channel, our YouTube channel, is going to be about the outdoors, anything to do outdoors, fishing, hunting, loving every day, as Luke Bryan says. Shout out to Luke Bryan, I guess. But no, but in all seriousness, pretty much it's just here we're going to be more goofy. We're going to be doing a lot of
a little bit of everything. Don't expect no professional because you see us now, right? So
just a couple of goofballs trying to create a good channel.
But anywho, we're just going to start off today with trying to figure out how we met each other, why we decided to make this podcast, really anything that we can possibly think of. But it's just going to be a random podcast, getting that feel of just getting recorded. Because, tell you what, if you've never done it, it's kind of awkward. I'm not going to lie. You're talking to a phone, and I'm looking at a garage door right now. So,
Our neighbor, his neighbors probably think we're crazy right now, sitting in here, goofing and hollering and stuff.
We got a propane heater running with the garage door open halfway.
Yeah. So
they're probably like, what are these goofballs doing? There's no construction going on yet. As you see, it's coming in progress, though. Yeah. So we're going to have about a 9-by-12 room built. It's going to be all made for the podcast. So it should come pretty well. Today's just kind of getting a feel of it. But to start things off, how in the heck do we know each other? For how many years is that?
So let me tell you about that story. 21 years ago. Yes.
Oh, by the way, I don't remember hardly any of this, so this guy, he remembers most of it.
Yeah.
So he's going to be talking a lot of this beginning stuff. So
21 years ago, actually. It sounds like a long time. We met at Head Start. I was 4, he was 3.5. Actually, how we met each other was through a couple of our other buddies. They were brothers, Clinton and Clayton. Yeah. And we kind of all four just hit it off. We were like the dynamic quadruplet.
Rest in peace, Clayton.
Rest in peace.
Me and him are friends now, so me and Clayton's brother kind of talk eventually every once in a while, mostly about subs. But we're just gonna be both with each other, just kind of knowing everything. We have all sorts of hobbies, stuff we've learned, all sorts of things. But you can continue.
So anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted,
that's my necessity. So,
but no, seriously, we met. Like I said, in Head Start, I was 4, he was 3.5. We just kind of hit it off from there. We hung out all the time. We were in school. We were inseparable. We got in trouble together.
Had to do wall sits together.
We had to do a lot of wall sits. Pretty much, if there was a time of the day that it was daylight, we were together. And then kind of got separated later on, kind of in middle school year. I actually moved away. We kind of lost contact for a couple of years, and then I finally got my first smartphone, and I was able to get Facebook. He actually got a hold of me on Facebook. I not really forgotten about him, but kind of forgotten.
He forgot.
And kind of, we got back together, and during the summer, we did a lot of stuff, a lot of really stupid stuff.
Mostly me, though, to be honest.
Yeah,
this guy, he was mostly just the watcher, and I was doing the stupid stuff that I could probably get really hurt on, but, my back's paid for it, so that's all that matters now.
Just an example of the kind of stuff that he's talking about. Cliff jumping. 75-foot cliff.
That's not scary.
That's high. Okay?
It's pretty high. I had a bruise on my foot about that big on my heel. It was rough.
Let's see here. You tried to get me to ride a dirt bike. No. I do good enough on 4 wheels. You give me 2 and I'm gonzos. Woo!
Now it says I got to try to get him to ride a dirt bike. I'm jumping roads on dirt bikes. So when I have a good one that's working out, I actually have money to fix it. I usually use it. So,
So just a little bit of a kind of cool-ish story. I'd probably say it was our junior year. The summer in between our junior and senior year, he had actually come over, and we were on my dad's farm. We were out cutting cedar poles and selling cedar poles, and my uncle had sold me his 4-wheeler. We got done with work a little bit early, and we took the 4-wheeler out. We were jacking around out in the field, and we decided to, both of us, get on it. He was driving. I was sitting on the back, and he came around the corner.
That was pretty fun, though.
And as he was coming around the corner drifting, there's a big old rock sticking probably that far out of the ground.
Oh, you were on driving. Now I remember it? Because I got thrown off the back.
Yeah.
And you were underneath the 4-wheeler crying like a baby.
Okay, so vice versa. Boom. Rewind. Okay. I was driving. He was on the back.
Rewind.
Come around the corner, started drifting. I seen this rock the last second, and it was too late. Tire hit the rock, spun around, threw him off. He goes flying.
So I was probably 20 feet, I'd say. Yeah. And I landed on my back, and I shot up like a rocket. So this is me, and I'm just back up, right? Then I look over, and Dylan's over there with the 4-wheeler like this, holding himself up. Get us off me, get us off me. I was like, well, calm down. I ran over there, took it off of him.
Now, granted, I held on to this thing the entire time. All right, so this thing,
all you had to do was let go, though.
Hits, and as it's coming back around, then it flips. And I held on to this thing as it did the first flip, and then I kind of let go. And whenever I hit the ground, the 4-wheeler was coming down, and I stuck my foot up and grabbed the bars before it could completely crush me. And I couldn't push this 4-wheeler off of me.
It was pretty fun. To be honest, I had fun falling off, though.
Oh, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was fun. So, yeah, like I said, we got back together. Got back together forever
and ever and ever.
We got back together, started hanging out more, made some more memories. We've always wanted to do something like this. he actually started doing something similar to this on his own, and so did I. Created our own channels.
But there's nobody there. So I do it by myself boring, I'm bored by myself. So Dylan over here decided to start his own little channel, and then I pretty much told him, hey, that's a crappy idea. Check this out. Let's do this instead. And this is where we're at now. We've ended up getting a banner, a logo. I even made him a logo for his last channel, but we just ended up being, this probably the best bet. It's going to be the best way to go about it. So that's where we're at now. So
now, granted, my channel was kind of specific to something's.
To catfishing.
Yeah.
It was just catfishing only, and I was like, hey, why don't we expand? But why not just expand that far when we can expand further later on? And that's what the Obscure Outdoors is for. That's what the RowdyCast is for. This is just to kind of lay back, and whoever wants to watch it can watch it. They don't have to, obviously, but if they want to find something that's kind of entertaining, we're going to have some new ideas coming up. Like, we're going to do a skit later on that we're actually going to watch scary movies that we used to watch all the time. Like, let's say Bloody Mary, like the old school version, stuff like that. And we're actually going to review that later on just to see, you know, what it's like compared to the new stuff and the old stuff. And I think that's going to be a very, very big comparison to be honest.
The backstory of the reason why he mentions the Bloody Mary is because that was actually one of the movies we watched together as a kid back whenever I used to live at the farmhouse before I moved. And we would go into the bathroom there at the house and say it 3 times, expecting something to happen, and nothing would ever happen.
Speed up your talking. That sounds a little weird. We're just saying bathroom together. Hey. Hold up.
We would go into the bathroom to look into the mirror and say Bloody Mary 3 times. To see if it was actually true. We did it, we would do that at the house. We would go to the school, do the same thing, try and see if
I think I remember about school is that
the school.
The power went out one day, and every kid, it was the bathroom. The bathrooms where they wanted to go, right? So it was everybody in the bathrooms, and we were over there doing friggin' Bloody Mary while everybody was just hanging out because you can't have no power to do nothing. So that's kind of how it started. And me, myself, I act like I'm all cool back then and wasn't scared of nothing. I was definitely scared, tell you what. Every time I took a shower, I'd hurry up and wash my hair out, then look in the corner, finish washing my hair out. It was just back and forth, like, to be honest.
He hit it very, very, very well.
That's why I was a cool one.
We were inseparable. In school, we were popular.
Kissing under teacher's desk.
He got no, us no. Us kissing under teacher's desk, no. Him and a girl got caught kissing under her desk in
to be honest, I remember. It was nap time, so that tells you how far back it was. That's when it was.
I think it was 2nd or 3rd grade. So kind of give us a break from talking about our lives together.
We got something new for you. Cool beans. Tell me something cool to you. You want to start or want me to start?
You can start.
All right. This is kind of different, but your brain is consistently eating yourself. The process is called phagocytosis, where cells and I can't read that.
We are not scientists. We do not.
Yeah, this is. I don't know where it came from. I found it, and I was like, "That's weird. That's something different." But cells actually, they say envelope and consume smaller cells or molecules to remove them from the system. But they also said, "Don't worry," which I've heard that many times. But phagocytosis isn't harmful, but actually helps prevent any gray matter from staying in your brain. So I thought it was kind of neat to see, and that's probably my problem most of the time. I got brain cells eating more.
The reason why there's 2 dudes and one brain cell. But another kind of cool, useless, kind of funny fact, actually, if you think about it, because a lot of you guys probably will stop doing this after I say it, but
let's hope not, because it's healthy. But continue.
According to whatever goes on in the scientist world, humans share 50% of their DNA with bananas, which means if you eat a banana, that makes you a cannibal. So just think about that for a second.
I'm glad that I got some chest problems. I can't have bananas no more. So I'm cool. I'm good with that. Well, alrighty, guys. And as you can tell, we're just getting a feel of everything. We still got little bullet points here and there to try to keep us on track until we kind of get a feeling of how we're going to do this.
And then it'll just be us sitting down talking, and we'll be consistently looking at the camera like a bunch of retards instead of from the computer to you, from the computer back to you. So, yeah.
Yibbers, well. All right, well, kind of mentioned it. One brain cell, I'm probably about 25% of that brain cell, because this guy here remembers most stuff. I usually forget, to be honest, until he brings it up. Then I remember little bits and pieces. I blame it on the ADHD, though, because I'm seeing now every single video I see, even though TikTok got banned, I'm seeing it everywhere, so I'm just going to blame that, and I'm just going to stick with there. But, going back to when we first met, I remember when we were always going outside, we were always trying to find something to do outside, either making a spear, making a knife out of a stick, literally anything. But one memory I do have is, remember the hill that we ran to, right through the thorns? I didn't know it was there.
Yep.
So I go head first, start freaking running under the fence. I jump the fence, he jumps the fence. Then it was dark, so we didn't really know what's going on. So I ran right into the thorn bush, and it was full of thorns. Like, hey, there's a path on this side, is what he freaking turned around and told me. I was like, thanks for telling me before that. So I had thorns in my leg. But after that, we went up there, and we pretty much just acted like we were military, which he pursued that dream. I didn't. But we were acting like the cows were the enemies, and we were just hiding behind the hills and trying to take the cow out with a little fake piece of stick.
With a stick that we turned into a knife or a spear.
Like rainbow.
And we made a bow, too. We actually ended up making a bow.
Going back to our prime days.
And then, talking about prime days, whenever we were in school, if you want to be technical, we started our entrepreneurship pretty fairly early, because this man over here made, and actually, if I remember correctly, sold a couple of duct tape shoes.
And a hammock.
and a hammock.
The hats were cool, though, to be honest. They were pretty thick. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I got some in the storage somewhere.
We got in trouble one day for actually wearing that stuff to school.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long. It feels like it should have been like way earlier than we did. But it was fun, though. The hammock, it held for a while, then I fell right on my head.
Now, back to him talking about military. Right after high school, actually about a year or so after high school, I actually left for the Marine Corps. He tried to convince me to stay.
In a way, yes, because for one, Dylan always jumps head first, just like he ran to. So his parents live on the farm, okay? So there's always trespassers. Sometimes we think there's creatures somewhere in the field, and we thought this one day. We were with Dallas, I think, too. Yep. And next thing you know, Dylan's like, is that somebody in the field? So he turns around, freaking darts off into the dark, and tell you what, this is a shin. This is a trailer hitch, or the freaking ball that you put onto. Bow! Freaking tore his leg all up. He was on the ground for I don't know how long. So me and Dallas ran to the field, tried to see if anybody's there. But it was kind of something else.
True story. We were actually, if I remember correctly, we were playing hide and go seek. Either hide and go seek or tag or something.
Yeah, I think so.
And I looked up, and as he said, there's always people trespassing on the property. I looked up, and I thought I'd seen somebody in the backyard there at my parents' house, and I took off. I bolted, because every time we think we see somebody, by the time we actually, get outside and everything, they're always gone. Because as quick as they can get onto our property, they can get off. So I take off running without a thought in the world of paying attention to where I was going, and it's like he said, it was pitch black. And as I jumped over a log pile, my dad had a trailer parked right on the other side of it, and whenever I landed, I tried to bunny hop over the trailer, and my left leg, whenever it hit, I got stuck into a log, and I fell forward.
I really bet you freaking. I bet you cracked your shin or something by the time.
100%.
If you had problems with your shin, it's probably because of that day.
Oh, yeah.
It was a hard hit. He was down for a while.
It was bad. My legs swelled up like this.
It was funny,
The bruise went all the way around my leg. It was like somebody just took a giant clamp and just pressed it around my leg.
It was quite funny, though.
But, so I had told him 3 or 4 days after I found out that I was actually going to be enlisting, and he tried to convince me to stay because, like he said, I kind of
Jumped the gun
on everything. I think I want to do something, and I just go and start doing it. I don't even think about if it's actually something I want to do.
Now, the reason I did that, though, is as soon as he brought it up, he only thought about it for about 2 months, probably. He was like, I'm going, let's go. Which, that's cool, but at least take a little bit of thought about what could happen, what's going to happen. Are you able to do that? Which, he's always been that type anyways. So, that's kind of where it was.
Huh? Anyway, so I left. I went with the kid that I went to school with. His name is Greg. We went to his dad's in Greenbrier, Arkansas, and I was there for 6 or 7 months going through training as a pool lead. And like I said, I lived with his dad for 6 or 7 months, and I'd come home every once in a while for a week or so, and whenever I'd come home, I'd visit with him. And then this was late 18, early 19.
Right out of high school.
Yep.
Actually, about a year out of high school, I'd say.
It was about 8 months out of high school.
Yeah, somewhere right there, yeah. It was close.
And my recruiter was trying to get me to leave, middle of 2019. And, I was always gone. I didn't really get to see a whole lot of my family. I didn't get to see none of my friends. At that point, whenever I would come back, I'd stay for a couple weeks and I'd have to leave and go back because I'd have poolie training stuff that I'd have to do, or the SFET, or not SFET, SA, or what is that?
ASVAB?
I had to take the ASVAB like 4 or 5 times because...
Which those are crazy, by the way. I got a bad score. I was really expecting to get a better score, but, dude, I was horrible.
I had to take it 4 times because the MLS I wanted, I had to have a 50 or above.
I don't understand. Why don't they just take you in the field, see how you do on certain occasions? You don't got to do
the ASVAB doesn't even have anything to do with the military.
Yeah,
it's everything you learned in school.
Of course, I don't know, obviously, but I've talked to you a couple times, and it's like it don't even do nothing with it. It's just, oh, does this dude have a little bit of brains? Yeah, cool.
Which, by the way,
this one doesn't have brains, so you join the Marines. I mean,
if you enlist in the Marine Corps, you can't have any brain cells. Those are gone. So he was trying to get me to leave in the middle of 19, and I was going for it for a little while, and then he actually ended up convincing me to stay for a little bit longer, think about it some more, instead of just going ahead and jumping into it, because I'd only been in for, at that point, probably 6 or 7 months. So I told my recruiter, I was like, hey, I'm going to wait a little bit. I haven't gotten to spend a whole lot of time with my family, so I stayed. And towards the end of 2019, he came back to me again and was like, hey, I can get you guys the end of November. It was like right after Thanksgiving. I can get you guys on a plane to California to go through basic training.
Oh, those recruiters, they just try to push as fast as they can. Hey, you may not like it, but it don't matter. You're going to like it. You're going to love it. And then you get there, you don't really like it very much. So I've heard at least.
So I called my family and I let them know. And I called him and let him know. He actually invited me to Christmas. He wanted to do one last Christmas before I left because we didn't know when the next time we were going to get to see each other was. So I told my recruiter again, no, I'm going to stay and wait till after Christmas because I was supposed to leave in January of 2020 was my actual departure date that I was given to and assigned. But because if a poolie dropped out because, they got scared or whatever, because whenever you're a poolie, you don't have to go. I mean, just once you sign your name on that dotted line, that's whenever you have to go. But if you don't sign the contract for whenever you go through and you go over like 3 MOSs that you're gonna, you want to do, because in the Marine Corps, just because you sign those 3 MOSs doesn't mean that those are the MOSs you're gonna get. Because like for me, my first pick was Motor T. Motor T Mechanic was my second, and then Recon was my third. None of those three were what I got put into.
Being the water one. What is that called?
Huh?
What's that called? The
Tracker?
water one?
Amphibious Assault.
Well, it's probably better that you weren't full mechanic, though. You probably hate vehicles by that time.
Oh, yeah.
You would have hated it, I think.
Even as an operator for me and my MLS, I hated doing mechanics work because even as an operator, I had to do mechanics work on my own vehicle.
Take it apart, put it back together.
Yeah.
Do it again.
And that's pretty much all they did. If they wasn't doing anything on the ramp, they took an engine apart, put it back together.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
So I let him know, no, I'm going to stay and wait till after Christmas. He kind of got a little aggravated. He really wanted to push me through. I really wanted to go through. But my family wanted me to be here for the, what could have been my last Christmas, because nobody knows, whenever you leave to go in the military, you don't know if the second you graduate, something's going to pop off and you're going to get sent over into a war zone or something.
That'd be rough.
So my family wanted to have one last Christmas, and, he wanted to have one last Christmas with me before I left. So I decided to stay. So I stayed through Christmas. A couple days after Christmas, I had Christmas with him and his wife at their duplex whenever they lived in town.
And nice duplex for what it was.
Yeah. And the next day, I left, went back to Greenbrier, and shipped off from there. I was gone for only a couple years. I was only gone almost 3. I was a month and a half shy of being gone for 3 years. I ended up getting kicked out because I didn't want to take the COVID vaccine.
Which we're not going to get into that.
Yeah. So
you have your opinions. We understand that completely. You want to take it, go right ahead.
I ain't got nothing against nobody that wants to take it. I ain't got nothing against nobody that takes it or that wants to. Me personally, didn't want to take it. So yeah, long story short, I left. I did some crazy stuff, seen a lot of stuff.
Sent some cool videos.
Yeah.
Like shooting the mortar, is that what it's called?
The Mark 19.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Or
the
drop the
bomb in there. What's that called? We drop bomb, drop down to shoots.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh, you seen it? They did video. Somebody else doing it.
Video, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We worked with the engineers that actually did that, and I recorded somebody else.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I come back, and I get back home, and started working at Sheriff's Department. And that didn't work out for me, so I left there.
Well, at this time, the only place he could go at the time was my house.
Yeah.
So he actually stayed with me for like
3 or 4 months.
It was about 6 or 7. It was a long time. It was supposed to be about 2 months, but it ended up being about 6 or 7 months. Kind of reconnected by that time, because within that 4 years, we didn't really talk very much. I'd text every once in a while, he'd text me. He's come down to see me maybe twice within the time, and I went up to California one time to go see him with a very, very tight budget. Very, very tight. I mean, we were using credit card and had to pay it off within 6 months after we came back. So, but it was kind of neat up in California, though. I wish I could stay there for another couple days. Then I don't want to go home. I'll stay to Missouri. I'm cool with Missouri. But
just being where I was stationed at. Now, granted, where I was stationed, there on Delmar on Pendleton, it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Where I was at, it was beautiful. It's just the cluster of people and the traffic. The traffic was horrid.
And his driving skills went from like 7 to like 4. Okay,
my driving skills went from a lot lower than from a 7 to a 4. They went from a 9 to a like 0.5. Now you gotta think.
Yeah, I'd say about 8 when you were racing in the S10s.
Yeah, team. Another
racing S10s, jumping on the hill pile at
Flatbridge. Yeah, whenever you got stuck there.
You got stuck, then pick it up and move it. I'll tell you what.
Now, granted, hang on. He says that, and we're not lying. There was 3 of us there. It was just 3 of us. It was me.
I don't know if it was Macintosh or.
I think it was Macintosh because that was.
He's a bigger boy.
Yeah, it was just the 3 of us there, and if any of you guys know what a 92 S10 or what was it, 92?
I've had 5, so I don't know. It was the 92 or 91, I think.
Anyway, if you guys know what a 92 S10 single cab, looks like.
Square body.
Yeah.
Square body style.
And how long it is, it actually had a long bit on it, so it was a little bit
It's pretty
longer.
fun. Like, me and Dylan tried, we were like, oh, we got this. We scooted it.
We pulled it pretty decent.
For 2 people, yeah. Straight out of high school, we were actually pretty fit.
Oh.
So, not no more. We got dad bods going on. But, hey, eventually, this garage is going to be a podcast gym that I probably won't use, but I'm sure try. So,
but
yeah.
Us 3 guys picked that S10 up, 4 inches off the ground, and
it
out of the hole.
It was fun.
I mean, it was fun.
That's not the first time, though, dude. When I got stuck at High Point in that really deep hill, I was like, oh, you're good. I'll pull you out, you know. I did not expect no freaking 5-foot ruts. So I was trying to weave around these ruts, and I was behind one of my old buddies. And as soon as I got to the very end, I went to turn around. So I went to creep around. It was good. Then I got stuck. So after this, I think he was at no, you're at school still, because it'd be about that time. There was one truck that came, tried to pull the other guy out. Another truck came and pulled that guy out, and they all got stuck. So another person wrapped around the corner, tried to get us out. Then the second one, there's like 5 or 6 trucks stuck that night. And
all while trying to pull one truck out.
One truck.
And an S10 at that. It's not even a big truck.
Yeah, it was a rough night. But what sucked is everything got paid for besides my truck getting out. So I had to get a freaking come along, hook it to a tree, come along, ramp on the gas, get stuck, come along. It was a long night. It was a long night.
We had a lot of those.
Yeah.
Our senior year, our senior prom.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dumped it, and he asked me to go to prom with him. I know. Aww.
It's cute, I know. And we have matching colors.
2 best friends going to prom, looking the exact same, holding hands and dancing together. Well, that never happened.
Minus hold hands. We may dance together, but that's about it.
So we're coming back now. Where we went to prom at was the castle in Springfield.
The 15 Castle.
Yeah.
It's a haunted castle that you can actually go there nightly. Shout out 15 Castle. Never been there for a night tour, but I think it's kind of fun, to be honest, because, we've seen stuff like shadows run away when I'm stuck on a barbed wire fence, Dylan yelling for me when I'm running in front of him, but I'm yelling for him because I'm stuck behind him in the fence.
All while I'm still running after this thing, because I thought he had got... I know we're doing a lot of bounce back and forth, but he brings another good story.
There's a lot of stories.
We were coming back.
We'll make it short.
10 or 11 o'clock at night, we were coming back. I was living on the farm. Now, where the fence was that we were climbing through was like 150, 200 yards away from my parents' house. So he held the barbed wire open for me to climb through, and once I got through, I held it open for him to climb. I thought he had gotten all the way through and started walking, and then he just takes off. So I let go of the barbed wire, and whenever I let go of it, he gets more stuck than what he already was. Yeah, and I took off running. And I'm chasing. Long story short, as I'm running, I keep looking down. I look up, and he's gone. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, man. So I'm hollering at him. I'm hollering. I'm looking around, and then all of a sudden, he comes up behind me, and he grabs me on the shoulder and says, hey. And I look back at him, and I was like, where did you go? And he was like, you left me in the fence and took off running, hollered at me as I'm hollering at you. What were you doing? I was like, dude, we need to get inside, like right now, because something's out here screwing with us. Because I, honest to God, thought whenever I lifted the fence up, you got through and you took off running because I thought I was chasing you.
I didn't know what was going on. As soon as I got up there, he was like, oh, we were right inside. So then probably soon after that, we went camping outside.
Yeah.
So, but anywho, that kind of reminds me, I'm looking up right now. So the name Obscura, you're probably wondering what that is exactly. So what that is we took, how many days to try to find a name?
Shoot.
I probably sent him at least 200 names, and it was just back and forth.
Probably about half that.
It was back and forth trying to figure out what we're going to name this channel, but we're thinking camo, and later on, if this does take off, we plan on doing our own style of camo, camouflage, whatever we need to do, something to keep us hidden in the tree stand because that's what we're gonna do a lot of. But I looked up the name. I finally found a name, Obscura. So what Obscura means, it's actually shadowy, or shadow is the definition of it. And what we're thinking is, if we're gonna be wearing Obscura brand, you want to be hidden in the shadows. You want to be hidden with the trees, hidden with the leaves. So that's just dumb. That's the main reason for Obscure Outdoors. RowdyCast, we're going to do some rowdy stuff, hopefully. After a while, we're going to try to learn some new activities, games. We might even play checkers. Who knows? I mean, it's going to be completely random. We're going to be building a room and recording it for y'all here soon. It's a long process. I've been working on it for about 2 hours altogether because I'm lazy.
I haven't worked on it at all because I've been busy with work. And now, granted, we both have full-time jobs.
Yeah, full-time jobs ain't nothing. This dude decided to have 3 kids under 3. So, I have 1 kid under 2 now. So, it's kind of tough finding a babysitter and doing work.
Yeah.
But, anywho, Obscure Outdoors, that's the whole point in it. RowdyCast, hopefully we're going to do some rowdy activities, talk about some rowdy subjects. Kind of like the UFOs that we've seen, or people talk about, or literally anything. Mostly freaking drones,
scary movies.
Scary movies.
Back whenever we were kids versus now,
the Leprechaun.
The original It versus It now, or the Bloody Mary from I think it was early '90s.
Oh, dude, it was a long time ago.
Yeah. And then the Bloody Mary from the mid to late 2000s.
We're getting into movies. What is the one movie that you're completely scared of? Scarred you as a child, scared to do anything because of that movie? If you were to think of one, it can be older, newer, it doesn't matter. It can be a cartoon. It doesn't matter.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. And why was that?
For a long time, it made me scared to go to sleep because I thought somebody was going to come and
kind of like me being scared to take a shower. The rest is cool. I wasn't really scared about much, but the shower, when I was shutting my eyeballs, I always looked in the corner to find the Grudge's hair coming down on me. So,
that's a good one, the Grudge. Yeah, the Grudge was another one.
Yeah, I've done some funny stuff with my sister. I have 2 sisters and a stepbrother. So what I used to do with my sister, I lived with my full sister. My stepsister's with my dad. But what I used to do is I'd dress up as the Grudge, all in white, and I'd paint my face completely white. And I would usually crawl around in the room trying to scare all of her friends. She had a group of 5 or 6 girls there. Yeah. So I'd crawl in her room, get behind him, and do the little thing that the Grudge does. I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. But I used to crawl under there. I would get under the sheet and just freaking grab on their legs. And dude, they freaked out. I got kicked in the forehead by it though. That wasn't very fun.
We did a lot of that stuff together, trying to scare his sister, and her friends and stuff.
We had good times though.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. So anywho, why Nightmare on Elm Street? What scared you the most about that show? Yeah, movie, same thing. It's a show. There's series. Yeah, there's 10 shows, 10 episodes.
Okay. Whatever. So the most was, like I said, something being able to hurt me in my dream while I'm asleep. I'm asleep and I cannot forcibly wake myself up because a person or demon or whatever's got a hold of my dream. It's no, you're going to stay here. I'm going to
possibly hold something else.
I'm going to take your life and drag it to...
See you later. I just thought of that.
Another one is, other than The Grudge, Drag Me to Hell.
I don't remember seeing that one. I think I've watched it, but I don't remember it at all.
It's not very scary, but it's scary to think that, something like that could happen. Yeah.
Mine would be, I have 2, actually. Darkness Falls with the freaking Tooth Fairy lady. That was a freaky show back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's also why I was scared to take a shower, because I felt like there was a tooth fairy coming to my face when I opened my eyeballs. Hey, tell you what, I do have a missing tooth, so it just comes for that extra tooth.
She came for the other one.
It did. They sure did. It was sketchy. But another one that came to mind, what is it I just had in my head? What is it? See, told you, one brain cell. It's always there. Okay, anywho, let's go to...
back to what I was saying about the prom because I got interrupted.
Okay, fine, whatever.
So the prom deal,
What time
and
is
then
it?
we'll
I don't
run
know.
over to the rest of our stuff.
7:05.
So we were coming back from prom, right? And we decided we wanted to go to Flatbridge, hang out, have some fun.
I didn't realize I completely stopped your story.
Yeah. We think we're going down the right road, and then early on,
Come to a dead end.
we come to a dead end.
And I was driving, so.
He goes, well, I think I turned one road too early. I was like, okay, I'm going to turn around and leave. And now, mind you, this whole time I didn't have a seatbelt on at all.
I remember that, yeah. I see where you're going.
And as soon as we get turned around, at the time that this all is happening, it's like sprinkling. It's like a light drizzle. It's raining, but it's not like pouring. As soon as we get turned around, boom, it just opens up and starts pouring. It's S10 at the time.
It was rough, yeah.
Its front two tires were like street slicks. Completely bald.
Front two and the back had a little bit of tread, just a little bit.
So we had turned around and
I had really bad wipers because I went mudding so many times they're covered in mud.
yeah,
I cleaned it before it went out, but it was covered in mud. So
spent probably an hour at the car wash to clean this truck.
yeah, I remember I had to put cinnamon on the floors because there's ants when I first bought the truck. But back to you.
So anyway, about a mile down the road, it really starts opening up for it. And we're starting not to be able to see the lines on the road. And every time we come up to a corner, the truck kind of slides over. So right before we come up to the sharp corner, I put my seatbelt on, right? I just clicked the seatbelt and looked up. And as we're coming around the corner, the truck hydroplanes, fishtails, he tries to overcorrect.
Hey, I did fairly good at first, though, dude. I was like right on the edge. I was drifting around that corner, but next thing you know, I just caught my tire.
It caught traction.
It was rough.
Flipped us over. It was 6-foot embankment.
Probably, yeah.
Flipped us straight. I mean, we hit that embankment, and the truck just pretty much just went boom right on its top.
Yeah,
Didn't bust out a single window in that truck. But me, at the time, I was super duper claustrophobic. I was hanging upside down in an S10 in a tight space upside down.
Hey, that was a good
roof
S10.
is caved in. Now, mind you, again, like I said, none of the windows, back glass, even the
front was busted because
at
there's
the
a
top
rock.
a little bit.
There was a rock that was right above our head, and if it was like maybe 500 pounds more, probably would have hit us right in the forehead and probably knocked our brain loose more. So
So I'm sitting there, I get on buckle and I drop down. He's looking for his phone. I got my phone. We got him. We're trying to figure out how to get out of here because he didn't have a sliding back glass. So I'm telling him, like, dude, just get out.
No, he wasn't telling. He was yelling. He was yelling.
I was, get out. I can't. I'm freaking out right now. He's just like, dude, just calm down.
As we were hanging upside down, we were like this. I was talking to him like, just calm down, you're fine, we're fine. And next thing you know, he kept on screaming, like, get me out of here, get me out of here. And what I finally do is I looked at him. I was like, okay, can we fit out the back window? No. Okay, let's unclick. We unclicked our belts. And next thing you know, I looked behind me to the side. There's a window right there. So, friggin', this is the funnest thing ever. I bust out my back, I think it was the driver's side window. I kicked it straight in to get us out, and that was pretty fun, not gonna lie. And I was even freaking out, but of course I was in shock at first. I was sitting out there upside down, I was like, what just happened? Then
this whole time, he's just calm.
Yeah, it was
and he's
fun.
freaking out on me, and then the second we get out, that's when everything just kind of clicked, and he was like, oh. The truck was upside down. And we're pretty far up off of the road.
Oh, yeah, dude. We're, 6 foot, and we were not expecting that. But can you stand up? We dropped about that tall from the top, straight on our back. And it was pretty rough.
We weren't even going that fast. And the culvert where we landed, the end of the culvert from the back of the truck was like, what, that far? Like 3 or 4 foot away?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. We went from like here to there. We did a whole 180 and landed.
I don't even know how we just, because it didn't even, it was so quick.
Yeah, I don't know.
The hydroplane to the fishtail.
It was really rough. That poor truck, though.
Now, that's not even the best part. The best part is we call my dad. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. My dad gets up, gets around, drinks his coffee, wakes up. 4 o'clock in the morning, or 3:30, around 3:30.
It was not
somebody
super
had
late,
called the highway patrol. The highway patrol had showed up about an hour and a half or so.
This was luck, though. I would have been in some big trouble, I think, if the cops didn't let me go because your dad was there. I would have been in big trouble.
He was on the edge of just having the truck towed and writing him a ticket for reckless driving because my dad was taking so long. So I'm on the phone with my dad like every 10 minutes, like, Dad, hurry up. We're getting ready to probably go to jail.
Go to jail.
Like, this guy's threatening to write him a ticket, tow his truck. We're out in the middle of freaking nowhere off 13. We need you to come and get this truck before he's screwed out of the vehicle. First thing he does is walk up to the highway patrol officer. He goes, all right, I'm here. You can go now.
Yeah, we got to take care of. I'll see you later.
We got this taken care of. And the patrol officer just kind of looked at my dad. He's like, who are you? And he goes, I'm the father of one of those goofballs down there at the bottom of that hill. He goes, well, you might want to tell those goofballs to get better tires on the vehicle.
Oh yeah, the fronts had wire. I didn't have money, obviously. My parents didn't really have too much money either. We made it by. She helped whenever she can, as much as she could. So I had my own stuff that I take care of, but wires in the front, bald in the back. Driving in the friggin' pouring down rain on the blacktop, though. It wasn't like the regular pavement, it was blacktop style, like the super slick stuff. That's what we wrecked on.
Yeah.
That's probably why I kept in so much control, though, just because it was so easy to drift if I needed to. But anywho,
we get it pulled out and flipped back over onto its top. And once we got it pulled up onto the trailer, Dakota is trying to get into it and start it to see if it's still rolling.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, my dad's looking at him like, dude, you need to wait, let it sit, let all the oil go from the top of the engine back down. It's been sitting on its top for a few hours now. So we waited until we got back to my parents' house. And as soon as we got back to my mom and dad's house, first thing he does, gets out, walks over to the truck, pops the hood, checks the oil, opens up the driver's, climbs through the driver's door because there's no window, and turns it over. Boom, fires up, and boom, just a big old puff of black smoke comes out. All right, she's good. Let's go.
And the radio was working just fine, dude. While we were upside down, the radio was still playing. I can't remember the song, obviously, but the radio was still playing, kicking like nothing.
Yep.
It was pretty fun.
The truck didn't completely kill itself for about 30.
It was running. Then first thing I did as soon as I realized what happened, shut that thing off. Yeah. So, anywho, I like to talk about stories, and we got tons of them. But we're going to get into the rowdy facts of the day. We're going to try to keep it kind of simple. Make this a everyday type of thing when we do a podcast. But who wants to start? You want to give it a go, Dylan?
Yeah, I'll give her a go, I guess. Trying to figure this computer out, but I can't. How did you do that?
Just 2 fingers.
Oh. Two dudes, one brain cell. All right. Anyway, so rowdy facts. They're going to be kind of useless, kind of funny,
possibly help you.
Something that could help you, but this is just an example of something that to expect in future videos and stuff. So it's what it's called is, like he said, rowdy facts, right? So my rowdy fact is, have you ever wondered why there are only 8 hot dog buns and 10 in a package, but there are 10 hot dogs in a package?
I've always thought it was just because they want to make more money.
Yeah.
You got about two packs just to fill your hot dogs up.
So behind that is 10 was the chosen number for hot dogs per pack because they were what was first manufactured. Hot dog buns usually come in packs of 8 because they were baked in clusters of 4 in pans designed to hold 8. Numbers. This and this. And they just kind of rolled with it because I guess whenever they made the pans to hold the hot dog.
Just big enough to make 4 and
They only made it big enough to hold 4 per pan. So they just kind of rolled with it. There's no specific reason. It's just the way it's always been.
Well, I'm still gonna stick with they just want more money. So
Yeah.
that's my thing. And going off the hot dog fact, there is an estimated 20 billion hot dogs a year that people actually eat every single year. 20 billion. I did see another fact that supposedly hot dogs take like a half an hour away from your lifetime per hot dog. So if that's the case,
I got like 20 minutes left.
That's usually what we usually eat. So
and that's what we're going to be eating a whole lot of whenever we start doing our videos.
Shoot, they say that, and also they say any crispy part. I forgot exactly what it is, but it's some kind of something that takes life off you too.
Yeah.
So grilled hot dogs out of the picture, grilled hamburgers out of the picture.
Yeah.
I'm kind
Pretty
of
much everything that we ate as kids is.
I'd hate to see what raw noodles is.
Yeah.
Back to the 20 billion hot dogs. If every single person would eat 70 hot dogs per year, per person, that would equal the amount of 20 billion hot dogs ate a year.
So what my fairly brain-celled friend is trying to say here is that 20 billion average for hot dogs consumed in a year divided amongst everybody in the world is about 70 hot dogs per person. The way you said it kind of
a
little goofy.
I'd probably say ate about 70 hot dogs a year, I think.
Well, not anymore. Not anymore.
That was a go-to because your big family, his family's pretty much my family. They always had at least 6 kids in the household.
Yeah.
Ish. And I was usually one of those. Hot dogs served in 95% of homes. I didn't know I put that, to be honest. So, anywho, 95% of homes actually have hot dogs in them. So that's another fact, I guess.
I guess I don't know how they come up with this. There's no way that they went to everybody's house.
I feel like you're just going to take every single cell, see how much life that cell has with a hot dog. I have no idea, to be honest. So, together, forever and ever. All right, well.
So back to the more serious stuff. The reason why we want to do the YouTube and podcast. We kind of already went over it a little bit, but we'll go over it a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
That'll be our closer here today, to kind of see what to look forward to in the future of RowdyCast from Obscure Outdoors. So
both of us together, like we said, he had his kind of goofier YouTube channel. I had my fishing YouTube channel.
I was jumping S10s.
Yeah.
And mopeds, I guess, but
I never really I couldn't do the recording and everything, by myself. It was a lot harder, and it was kind of boring because I was always by myself. Nobody ever wanted to do it with me, except for him. He would have done it with me, but I didn't get a hold of him, which is on me.
Also, you lived on a farm, though, so you guys are always doing something, too. So he was always helping his dad do stuff, and that's why I'd go there occasionally, go help his dad with some stuff, and work on vehicles pretty much every summer.
Yeah. Vehicles or tractors.
Really, the main reason I got back into fishing because I went to your house after we got back in touch after however long it was when we stopped talking.
Yeah, it was like.
But I turned into archery from a neighbor of mine. Henry's his name. That's most of the main reason. He was a really good hunter. He has one of the bucks up on the wall in Bass Pro. So I kind of got back into archery from him. Why do you want to start a YouTube and podcast anyways, other than just that? Like, give us some examples of why you want to.
So for me, it's because, I see the biggest influence on it is because, I want to do something for somebody else. I've always been a teacher, I guess you could say. I've got a little bit of knowledge, and I've always wanted to share that knowledge.
Your dad has a lot of it too that you've learned from him. So.
Yeah. So my dad, he knows a lot. He taught me a lot, and I've always been the kind of person who just, if I can't help somebody, if I can help somebody, I want to help somebody. So Why do you want to start a YouTube channel and podcast?
No. Mostly, to be honest, the main goal in the long term is hunting brand. After we learn some new things about hunting, I want to learn as much as I can within the time I have, because you never know how long it's going to be, because we don't know how long we're going to live for.
Yeah.
I'd like to spend more. Yeah, I'd like to, especially all the hot dogs you ate. Yeah. I'd like to spend more time with family, with friends. Of course, I don't mind my job I have now. I would like to do something for myself, though. That's the main thing. I really want to start a clothing brand one day for Obscura Outdoors or something else possibly. I've had so many people I go to actually figure out stuff and, hey, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I kind of like to learn from people, so what if we can teach you what we've been taught? That's the main thing. Like this guy, I'm into archery, like major. He was at first for a little while, then he stopped, then I got him back into it. I took his form from awkward hips to short draw to how it's supposed to be. So that's the main thing, kind of teaching everybody how to do everything, have fun time. Really want to have fun, because that's the main goal in life is to have fun wherever you go.
Together.
Pause.
Forever.
Alrighty, guys. I think you're probably been out here long enough. We got 4 kids to go out to.
Yeah.
So
I have 3. He has 1. So
yeah. Go check out the video. We are fresh, so just put us in the subscribe button. Try to keep an eye on us. Give it about, I'd say, 3 months, and we'd have everything fairly set, like good. Have a good
tell
thing.
them how to get a hold of us to give us kind of like tips for future videos.
I was kidding there. Gosh. Okay, we have an email, Obscura Outdoors, OBSCURA Outdoors at gmail.com.
So outdoors, then go back to kindergarten.
OUTDOORS. Scene. We don't have a phone number just yet. I'm working on that. I kind of want to get a phone number that says 417 Obscura, because with its exact same letters. So if you take that, I don't like it anymore. So we're planning on getting everything patented. We got it in the works now. It's already sent off. So our banner, our logo, I made the logo from scratch. Me and Dylan kind of went back and forth on how to do it. He gave me an idea, I gave him the idea, and I
drew something, he drew something, we compared the two, his was better, so we went with his.
Sure,
He's got a little bit more, I drew everything from scratch, and
I did my work.
Fancidized it.
I get over it. Everybody that knows me knows it, so I try to keep it on the DL as much as I can, but
on the down low.
Yeah, guys, ObscuraOutdoors.com, or no, not .com yet. We're working on that still.
Gmail.com.
ObscuraOutdoors@gmail.com. And get a hold of us on TikTok, since it's finally unbanned again. Instagram we're going to post clips and snips of everything on all those platforms. We're also going to post the podcast on our YouTube channel, Obscura Outdoors. And if you have a problem finding it, email obscuraoutdoors@gmail.com. and ask for the link, and we can send it to you so you can subscribe. So, you have a good night, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever you guys do.
Afternoon.
Yeah, we're almost...
If you're sleeping, wake up!
Yeah. Just make sure to take that phone with you, put your earphones on, and just enjoy the outdoors with Obscura Outdoors at RowdyCastPodcast.
We look like news anchors on today's episode.
Without...
It's recording, by the way, so
Can you hear it pretty well?
I don't know. I mean, I've got it on Pro Video, and it literally, I don't know what to do. It does show that it's connected from a mic from a USB. So I'm pretty sure it's picking up our audio from on today's episode.
Today's episode of the RowdyCast, featuring That's an itty bitty. Tell you what. Welcome to the RowdyCast, home of the RowdyCasters. If you don't know what that is, it's all of you, fellow outdoorsmen and women. It is Sunday the 19th. My name is Dakota, and joining me today, as he will be every single day.
Whoa. I didn't introduce myself, thank you. My name is Dylan, the better, funnier, and better looking guy.
Okay. Have you ever wondered what it's like to...
Is this the edited version? This is not the edited version that we did.
It's his.
That is not. That is the original.
You sure?
Yeah, that was the original. You think that looks good? Sit down. Yeah. Hang on. Let me center it up a little bit.
I really don't want to read off script, but that's all I know how to do. So, give it about a month. We'll figure it out.
You're the professional.
Professional?
Now, the weather today is cold. Freezing. Cold.
Cold. My chin is cold.
It's the reason why the heater's on. I don't know how well you can hear it, but it's there. Where's your script at there, Buckaroo? On today's episode of RowdyCast, we're going to see how sharp Dakota's knife is. Ow, sharp. Very sharp.
Okay, Sky, just saying your car's broke now. Just like all my vehicles at the house, because I'm broke.
That makes it sound like we're doing like a wood shop. Makes it sound like we're doing a wood shop.
We gotta put the friggin' script after read it. That one's done. Next.
As soon as we're done, just be like, all right, here you go. Here you go. Okay. Today's episode of Little Tykes RowdyCast. Little Tykes RowdyCast.
The home of the RowdyCasters. If you're wondering what exactly is a RowdyCaster, well, it's all of you. I kind of like this one.
It's got wheels.
It's got wheels. Yeah, I can't fit in there. Into the wild blue yonder.
Da, 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 da.
Kabooey. Kabooey.
Bang. Sure, we'll roll with it. Just the audio, but then they don't get to see how goofy we look, and how goofy you look, and how good looking I look.
We get a banner.
Oh,
Straight across the back.
My wife's got a rebel flag.
No. People will take that wrong.
I've got the Marine Corps flag. I was in the Marine Corps.
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
American Marine Corps flag. No, it literally says United States Marine Corps, and it's got the Eagle Globe and Anchor on it.
We can try it. See if it's good for a backdrop.
Don't tread on the RowdyCasters. All right, you ready for this? Take one.
I don't like this. Hold on. Yeah.
That's the clippy climb. You know, you just don't got. We should get numbers.
Hello, and welcome to the RowdyCast, the home of the RowdyCasters. If you're wondering what is a RowdyCaster, well, it's simple. All of you, our fellow adventurers, seek Philip, Psych.
There we go. Now we can just
Chillax. Yeah. Ow, it hit my ear. Alrighty. Hello, and welcome to the RowdyCast, the home of the RowdyCasters. If you're wondering, what exactly is a RowdyCaster? Well, it's all of you that are watching right now. I lost my sand. That's going to be rough, dude. We need a computer. A laptop.
I
have a laptop. Hello, and welcome to the RowdyCast, the home of the RowdyCasters. If you're wondering, what exactly is a RowdyCaster? Well, it's all of you. Everybody's watching. Our fellow adventurers, thrill seekers, and outdoorsy folks, it's Friday. Just kidding, it's not Friday.
Today is Sunday the 19th, or 20th, I think.
Cut!
To be fairly later on continued. Take one.
Hello.
Take two. You had the wrong script.
That's better. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's get going. Hello, and welcome to the RowdyCast, home of the RowdyCasters. If you don't know what that is, well, it's all of you watching today. Fellow outdoorsmen and women, adventurers, thrill seekers, and outdoor folks. It is Sunday, the, 19th. And joining me today, as always, is my co-host.
He forgot to introduce himself, so we're going to pause.
Oh, Lord. I would have threw it in there somewhere. It sounded good.
That did sound good.
Okay.
All right. Now, in all seriousness,
We should use that big freaking thing. I'm getting it.
I don't know, where are we going to put it?
Right in the middle. Got my movie scene clipboard.
See, clipboard.
I was going to smash my fingers so hard. Take 6. Hello, and welcome to the RowdyCast, the home of the RowdyCasters. If you're wondering, what exactly is a RowdyCaster? Well, it's all of you watching right now from your iPads, your phones, whatever it is. All these outdoorsmen and women, fellow adventurers, thrill seekers, and outdoorsy folks. It is Friday, and I'm Dakota, and join me as I always...
Oh, God. I know why there's so many cap cuts for movie scenes.
Well, I'm taking this out. I'm not going to say a date. And scene. That would hurt so bad.
that almost got me.
All right, guys. Stay tuned. More to come. Checkers will come soon. Have a good night.
See ya. I shouldn't have done that.
Stay tuned. We're almost done.
Bingo, bango. I think we're good. Mike. Mickey.